Good afternoon. This is All India Radio, and I'm Meenuti Chatterjee with the Midday News. The headlines. Nana Patole of Congress elected Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly unopposed. GST revenue collection crosses 1 lakh crore rupees during November. New technology being deployed by BSF to guard India-Pakistan border and check drone threat. 3 policemen suspended in rape and murder case of veterinary doctor in Hyderabad. UN Human Rights Commission calls for investigation into alleged excessive use of police against pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. And Indian men's volleyball team enter final at South Asian Games in Kathmandu, beating Sri Lanka 3-1 in the semis. Congress MLA Nana Patole was elected unopposed as the Speaker of the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly today. Pro Tem Speaker Dilip Valse Patil made the announcement after BJP candidate Kisan Kathore withdrew his nomination earlier in the day. After Patole was elected, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said he comes from a farmer's family and expressed confidence that he will do justice to everyone. BJP's Devendra Fadnavis said in the State Assembly that the party had nominated Kisan Kathore for the post of Assembly Speaker, but in the all-party meeting, other parties requested BJP that as per tradition, the Speaker should be appointed unopposed. Therefore, the party withdrew its candidate. Patole represents Sakoli Assembly segment in Vidarbha. This is his 4th term as an MLA. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and some senior MLAs escorted Nana Patole to the Speaker's chair. Thackeray and BJP Legislative Party leader Devendra Fadnavis lauded Patole's work as legislator and farmers' leader. Congratulating Patole, the CM said that he is happy that the son of a farmer has occupied the Assembly Speaker's post in his government. Nivedita Borkar, AIR News, Mumbai.
The Uddhav Thackeray-led Mahavikas Aghadi government passed the floor test in the State Assembly yesterday. Altogether, 169 MLAs voted in favour of the motion of confidence after the BJP, which has lost 105 MLAs, staged a walkout before the head count began in the 288-member House. Maharashtra BJP Legislature Party leader and former Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has been named as the leader of the opposition, LOP, in the Assembly. Newly elected Speaker Nana Patole made the announcement in the House today. Mr. Patole said the BJP is being accorded the status of the opposition party in the Assembly and Mr. Fadnavis would be the new LOP. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray and some ministers greeted Devendra Fadnavis on his election. In Jharkhand, campaigning for assembly elections in the 2nd and 3rd phase is gaining momentum. 20 constituencies will go to the polls in the 2nd phase on the 7th of this month. Polling for 17 constituencies spread over 8 districts will be held in the 3rd phase on the 12th of this month. More from our correspondent.
Senior BJP leaders Rajnath Singh and JP Nadda, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader Hemant Soren, Jharkhand Vikas Morcha chief Babulal Marandi and all Jharkhand Students Union chief Sudesh Kumar Mahato are addressing election rallies. Leaders from the Congress, the RJD and the left parties are also holding public meetings to woo voters. Tomorrow is the last date for withdrawal of nomination papers for 4th phase of polls on the 16th of this month. 230 candidates are in the fray. With KK Lal, Suparna Sekia, AIR News, Delhi.
Meanwhile, filing of nominations continues for the 5th and final phase on the 20th of December. Voting in the first phase of elections was held yesterday, recording an estimated 64.44% turnout. GST revenue collection witnessed an impressive recovery with a positive growth of 6% in November as compared to the collections of the same month last year. The gross GST revenue collected in November is 1,03,492 crore rupees after 2 months of negative growth. Of this, CGST is 19,592 crore rupees, SGST 27,144 crore, IGST 49,028 crore and cess 7,727 crore rupees. The government has settled 25,150 crore rupees to CGST and 17,431 crore rupees to SGST from IGST as a regular settlement. The total number of returns filed in November has also gone up. Minister of State for Home Affairs, Nityanand Rai, today said the government is committed to equipping the forces with the latest equipment and technology. He was addressing the 55th Raising Day event of the force at the BSF camp in New Delhi today. Mr. Rai said that citizens of India feel safe because of the BSF Jawans' promptness on the world's most sensitive international borders.
जवानों को अत्याधुनिक हथियार, उपकरण एवं नवीनतम तकनीक से सशक्त बनाने के लिए भारत सरकार सदैव कृत संकल्प है। भारत सरकार ने केंद्रीय सशस्त्र बलों के सभी कर्मियों की सेवानिवृत्ति की आयु 60 वर्ष कर दी है और जो भी असमानता थी उससे दूर कर दिया गया है।
Speaking at the function, BSF Director General V.K. Johri said the BSF is working on technological solutions to combat the threat of drones along the India-Pakistan international border. Mr. Johri said that the force has expanded its strategic capabilities by using new technology and intelligence to guard over 6,386-kilometer long borders with Pakistan and Bangladesh. He said the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir and the international border along Punjab have become operationally sensitive in recent times. He added that anti-India forces are continuously trying to infiltrate across the border and the BSF is alert at all times to thwart these bids. Our correspondent reports that the BSF is primarily tasked with guarding the India and Pakistan borders apart from rendering a variety of roles in internal security. The force, numbering about 2.5 lakh personnel, was raised on this day in 1965. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted Border Security Force personnel and their families on BSF's Raising Day. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said the force has been diligently protecting the country's borders. Home Minister Amit Shah also greeted BSF personnel on the BSF Raising Day today. This is All India Radio, giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. In Telangana, 3 policemen have been suspended for alleged delay in registering an FIR in the case relating to the missing woman, veterinary doctor, who was later found raped and murdered. Hyderabad Police Commissioner V.C. Sajjanar said today that the policemen were suspended after an inquiry following allegations levelled by the family that police had cited jurisdictional reasons and not acted on time on their complaint on the missing woman. He said a detailed inquiry was conducted, following which a sub-inspector and 2 constables were suspended yesterday. He added that all police officers have once again been instructed to register cases irrespective of jurisdiction whenever a complaint related to cognizable offence is received in the police station. The charred body of the woman, working as an assistant veterinarian in a state-run hospital, was found under a culvert in Shadnagar on Thursday morning, a day after she went missing. 4 lorry workers were arrested on Friday in connection with the case and sent to 14 days judicial custody. Our correspondent says that protests are taking place across Telangana demanding justice for the victim's family.
In a rare turn of events, the magistrate arrived at the police station and sent the accused to judicial custody. As the inquiry by different agencies like police, National Women's Commission and women's rights organizations are going into details, more chilling facts are emerging relating to the veterinary doctor's murder. Protests galore in and around the state capital, Hyderabad, and even housewives are seen taking part in the protests that are taking place across Telangana. Candlelight marches are also held at many public places. Lakshmi, AIR News, Hyderabad.
In view of rising onion prices, public sector trading firm MMTC has ordered import of 11,000 metric tons of the staple vegetable from Turkey. The consignment will begin arriving from late this month or early January. The Department of Consumer Affairs has asked MMTC to place an order to check the price rise of onions. The 11,000 metric tons is in addition to 6,090 tons arriving from Egypt in the middle of this month. Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister Ram Vilas says the government is making all efforts to ensure that onion prices are moderated across the nation. Nagaland is celebrating its 57th statehood day today. It became the 16th state of the Union of India on the 1st of December 1963. The formal inauguration was done by the then President of India, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Celebrating the day in Kohima, Chief Minister Nephew Rio addressed the people and said the state has come a long way in the midst of all the turmoil. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah have greeted the people of Nagaland on their statehood day. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, has called for an investigation into alleged excessive use of force by police against the pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is in the grip of anti-government protests. China has dismissed Ms. Bachelet's call as inappropriate interference in the country's affairs. China's mission to the UN in Geneva said an article written by Michelle Bachelet in the South China Morning Post was erroneous and violates principles of the Charter of the United Nations. In a statement, the Chinese mission said the article contains inappropriate comments on the situation of Hong Kong. The Islamic State terror group has claimed responsibility for the knife attack in central London, where a convicted terrorist killed 2 people before being shot dead by police. The group, via its propaganda Amaq news agency, said yesterday that the attack was carried out by a fighter from the Islamic State. It said he did so in response to calls to target citizens of coalition countries. However, it did not provide any evidence to support its claim. The attacker, identified as Usman Khan, was a convicted terrorist who was jailed 7 years ago over a plot to bomb the London Stock Exchange and build a terrorist training camp on land owned by his family in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In the Netherlands, the police has arrested a man over a stabbing attack on a shopping street in the city of The Hague on Friday, in which 3 teenagers were injured. Police spokeswoman Marie Kuper said a 35-year-old man was detained last evening and is being questioned at a police station. The attack in the Netherlands comes hours after the stabbing incident in London. At least 9 people, including the pilot, were killed, including 2 children, in a plane crash in the U.S. state of South Dakota. 3 others were injured in the accident yesterday, while a winter storm warning was in place, U.S. media reported. The Federal Aviation Administration said a single-engine plane crashed shortly after takeoff. It was carrying as many as 12 people. Indian men's volleyball team has entered the final of the 13th South Asian Games in Kathmandu. In a thrilling first semi-final, India defeated Sri Lanka 3-1 today. There was a neck-and-neck competition between the 2 teams. In the first set, Sri Lankan players gave a tough fight, but India won it 27-25. India also won the second set 25-19. But in the third set, Sri Lanka bounced back and won 25-21. India won the fourth set by 25-21 and stormed into the final. India will now take on the winner of the second semi-final, which will be played between Pakistan and Bangladesh in a short while from now. In badminton, Indian shuttler Saurabh Verma will take on Wang Sui-wai of Taiwan in the men's singles final of the Syed Modi International Tournament in Lucknow today. World number 36, Saurabh defeated 44th ranked Hugh Kwang-yi of Korea 21-17, 16-21, 21-18 in a semi-final match yesterday. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Nana Patole of Congress elected Speaker of Maharashtra Assembly unopposed. GST revenue collection crosses 1 lakh crore rupees during November. New technology being deployed by BSF to guard India and Pakistan border and check drone threat. 3 policemen suspended in rape and murder case of veterinary doctor in Hyderabad. UN Human Rights Commission calls for investigation into alleged excessive use of police against pro-democracy protesters in Hong Kong. And Indian men's volleyball team enter final at South Asian Games in Kathmandu, beating Sri Lanka 3-1 in the semis. And with that, we end the Midday News.